Family right here. That's what it's all about.
He's into the end zone. He caught it. Are you kidding me with that catch, JJ?
Happy New Year, Vikings Nation, and welcome inside TCO Studios for the Week 18 edition of Vikings Weekly. I'm Tatum, that's Gabe, and it is crazy to think that the Vikings close out the regular season this weekend.
Agreed. This season has felt like 5 years, but also 5 minutes. And as crazy as it's been, I'm so excited to give fans the final regular season edition of Vikings Weekly today. Coming up on the show, we sit down with the Viking safety Cam Bynum, who got his first start at cornerback this past Sunday. Also, head coach Kevin O'Connell discusses how the Vikings can close the regular season out strong. And when Kirk Cousins isn't sounding the Gallagher, he's in full dad mode. We've got a fun show this week right here on Vikings Weekly.
The Vikings lost a close one 2 weeks ago on Christmas Eve to the Lions, and now they head to Ford Field where they'll try to even up the series.
Yeah, the Vikings haven't been swept by the Lions in the regular season in over 7 years, and the team in purple do not want to rewrite history this upcoming Sunday. And head coach Kevin O'Connell addressed just how the Vikings can finish the season strong in this week's edition of X's and O's.
All righty, here we go with X's and O's on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network and Vikings.com. This is all courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery. And thank you for regular season sponsorship, per usual, to the Minnesota Lottery. Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, joins us now. And in no way with this statement am I painting you as a victim or a martyr by any stretch. But this season, how hard has this season been on you? Because when I was crafting this, I was thinking, I know how much you care about the fans.
Yeah.
And you're not Mr. People Pleaser. I want to, that you're in it for a lot of reasons, but I just know you care about the fans. Has this been hard on you?
Yeah, it's been incredibly difficult. I still feel so fortunate and blessed to get to, be the head coach of this team. I love everything about our fans in the Twin Cities, the atmosphere that we get. No matter what this year, every single time our fans got the opportunity to show up and show out, they did. And we didn't, we have not rewarded them, with the home performances that, they were maybe accustomed to in 2022. And there's been a lot of adversity. There's things that we've had to really work through. It has been a difficult year from a standpoint of just, never feeling like you necessarily have your fastball as the season kind of went on, but there is no excuse. Injuries are a part of this game. Circumstances that sometimes are outside of your control are a part of this game. My job is to keep these guys fighting incredibly hard all the way down to the very end and continuing to try to find the best possible ways with our coaching staff and our players included in that process to play football at a high level and give ourselves a chance to win games.
So, Kevin, into this last regular season game at Detroit, Sunday noon KFAM, what are some, off the Green Bay game, what are some things you absolutely have to see tightened up? Whether you win or lose, this has to tighten.
Yeah, I think, what I really want to see is just the detail and the competes, on really all three phases, where what I mean by that is offensively, let's have a clean day of execution. Let's, our premier players, let's be at your best. Let's make sure that, we put a lot of stock in the healthy guys we do have out there that, hey, you know what? The expectation is we're going to have a tight plan. We're going to have a good plan. You guys are going to own this plan. And when you make it come to life like you guys do on Sunday, we're going to find a way to have success with that offensively. Defensively, I want to just see that same competitive spirit that we've seen throughout the season coming from our defensive coordinator. He's been outstanding for us this year, trying to really work with, at times some tough circumstances, but still finding ways to, hold the pen last, as he likes to say. But in the end, I want those 11 guys flying around. I want guys sticky in coverage, tight as they can be. And if we give up a couple plays because we're, trying to play things tight and close and take the air out of, the offensive, formation and play, so be it. But let's go to Detroit and, really empty the tank as far as our ability to go compete and, see if we can put our best foot forward Week 18, Game 17, and, against the division champs from this year. So we've got a heck of a challenge, but I think it's one where my hope is we see the best parts of this organization come out.
When the Vikings hosted the Lions on Christmas Eve a couple of weeks ago, quarterback Nick Mullins had a career day passing for over 400 yards. QB1 Nick Mullins gets the nod again this week, and the primary goal is to limit turnovers and to keep the Vikings defense off the field. Tatum?
Well, thanks, Gabe. In his third season with the Vikings, Cam Bynum is the team's leading tackler this year. He made the switch from cornerback to safety while in the NFL. However, his DB's coach called him last week and said, "You're on your way home," meaning you're getting your first start at cornerback against the Packers. I sat down with Cam to talk about what that meant and his trajectory so far this season.
At safety, number 24, Cameron Bynum.
I feel like I have to start this interview by saying, you ready for this movie?
I am. Do it.
What about this season has felt like a movie for you?
There's been so many ups and downs, a lot of good and a lot of bad, but through it all, I feel like this team has stayed together and found the positive in everything.
This defense did a heck of a job tonight. This is a great team win.
We've had the mindset really just stay together, get better every single week, and no matter the result, let's still play with each other and be a team.
I'm going to go ahead and say, man, BC!
I feel like we all love your optimism and positivity, and Vikings fans have come to love that as well. However, it was after the 49ers game that I feel like the whole world really got to know you after that great performance and then your post-game interview.
When you use the worm on the first interception, are you all out of celebrations at that?
No, I got a lot more, so I got to keep making plays. I've been a few games with no plays so far, so I'm trying to make it a movie.
You got the chance to talk about your wife. She is now here. What has she said about the support that she's gotten since being here?
She said it was kind of overwhelming, just the fact that she got here and everybody knew her, but she loved it just knowing that how supportive people were and how welcoming everybody was when she got here.
It's almost like you were able to finally share how you go to work every day,
Right.
Really. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it's kind of cool just her seeing the process behind the scenes.
And intercepted by Bynum. Cam Bynum with the interception of Brock Purdy.
I show her the schedule and be really busy, but her being able to live in it and be able to help me through it, with coming home to cook meals, coming home to my laundry done, certain things like that.
Oh, I now know what the nice part of life
is. So doing little things like that for me, and she's understanding how busy and how hardworking you have to be during season just to feel ready for Sunday. And I love how supportive she is, and she finds the beauty in being able to help me through that to make my life and my preparation for game day as easy as possible.
Has that changed your sense of pride when you play at all?
Oh yeah, having her up there in the bleachers watching is probably like the most motivation I need. Every time before a series, I look up at her and my family, and they wave the yellow shirt around that we have, so I can find them, and it's like let's go, you got this.
Well, whatever you're doing, it's working. You're leading the team in tackles right now. You had some awesome moments this season.
Purdy steps through, floats it, he's picked, and that's it. Bynum gets another.
What stands out this season for you?
Just the freedom I'm playing in, the physicality that this defense brings, and the freedom that we have in this defense is allowing me to use my abilities and play fast and be all around the field. So being able to lead the team in tackles and have that high number of tackles has really been the biggest thing for me this season, of one thing I wanted to improve on after last season.
Gabe, I bet you can't guess where we can find those interviews.
You tell me.
As always, it's on Vikings.com or the Vikings app. You can also see the full version on Vikings Game Day Live on Fox 9, Sunday morning at 10 a.m., where you might see someone else who's a bit familiar.
Absolutely. Well, we all know the Vikings Entertainment Network is the best in the business. And a couple of weeks ago on Christmas Eve against the Detroit Lions, they had an extra eye in the sky capturing some unique angles from that game. And despite the loss, both Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne had a career day, combining for over 230 receiving yards. And even though we didn't get the outcome of that game, we did get every single moment from that spectacular performance from both Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne. Let's take a look.
Rolls out to the right.
CJ just stepped up and made a play. Keep feeding that man the football, baby. Looks great.
Coming up after the break, Kirk Cousins and CJ Ham are in full dad mode. And later in the show, Pete Burcich joins to break down the film for the Vikings regular season finale on Sunday against the Detroit Lions.
Here to lead the Skull Chant and sound the Geller Horn, please welcome in his 6th season with the Vikings, 4-time Pro Bowler, quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Look who's got the place going, blowing the Geller Horn. Kirk Cousins with the chain, without the shirt, for the sensational pregame atmosphere here in Minnesota.
And his son. There we go.
Kirk Cousins' sound on the Geller Horn was by far the loudest I've heard U.S. Bank Stadium in quite some time. Clearly, Kirk O'Chains and his son Cooper understood the assignment. Welcome back inside the TCO studios. This is Vikings Weekly. My name is Gabe Henderson. That's Tatum Everett. And the Vikings gear up for a Week 18 division collision in the Motor City against the Detroit Lions on Sunday.
I have to still bring up the Kirk sounding the Geller Horn thing because it was just one of the most memorable moments of the season. And for him to be able to do that with his son Cooper was really something special. He brings his boys around the facility and in the locker room so they can get a peek into what dad does for a living. And recently, Kirk teamed up with CJ Ham in an episode of Dad Mode. Let's check it out.
Turner, stand on this side of the sign, okay? Cooper, hold this side of the sign. Yeah, Turner, you're just gonna hold one side, okay?
What's going on, y'all? I'm CJ Ham.
I'm Kirk Cousins. This is my family, my wife Julie, my older son Cooper, my younger son Turner, and this is Dad Mode.
Dad.
That's the name of the show, Dad Mode. All right, let's get started, Cooper. Oh, a remote. Does Dad watch a lot of TV? Does he? He likes sports. Likes to watch sports on TV. Okay. I watch too much sports?
No such thing.
No such thing. What children's program have you enjoyed more than you thought you would? Well, what are the shows that we watch, guys? Today we watched Wildcrats. We watched Zaboomafoo.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. I went to the Paw Patrol movie with you.
I watched football on the airplane.
You watched football on the airplane. That's right, you did. We watched a show on Tony Dungy. I think the Kratt Brothers, their shows are pretty good. Zaboomafoo and Wildcrats. Have you watched those shows with your kids?
I have not. I have not watched those.
It's about animals. Turner loves animals, don't you?
I was gonna say, I'm assuming those are more educational shows. We need to watch more educational shows.
We've done them all. We do Reading Rainbow. We do Spider-Man.
We watched the Cocomelon and Little Angel, and I'm trying to get my son off of that because it's driving me crazy.
At the Pro Bowl this past year, Bluey was the big show because the time zone change going to Vegas. The boys were up at like 4 a.m.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, I can't do this. I got to sleep. So we would just put Bluey on and I'd go back to bed. That Bluey theme song is now stuck in my head, and anytime I hear it, it just transports me back to Las Vegas during the Pro Bowl week. Let's grab this big mask, all right?
Who is that?
It's Hulk.
Hulk. All right.
Okay. What Halloween costume has been your favorite so far? What's the plan this year?
Okay, I'll answer first, then you guys can answer. Last year I was Oscar the Grouch, and I had a big trash can on my head. And then this year I am planning to be, I don't know if I should give it away or not, but I'm planning to be the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and Mom's gonna be Beauty. I thought that was a pretty good fit. Mom's the Beauty and I'm the Beast. Yeah. That works, right? I think I know what you guys are going to be. Are you ready to tell them?
Yeah.
All right.
Spider-Man.
What are you going to be?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we're both going to be Spider-Man.
They're from Sam's Club, too.
They're from Sam's Club, that's right. Would you like to wear the Hulk mask? Okay. What are you eating? What are you munching on?
He's eating Skittles.
He's eating M&M Skittles, and you hold the football. Okay, microphone, here we go. Tell your best dad joke or sing a little of your favorite kid's song. What does a 500-pound parakeet say? Tweet. That's pretty bad. What's your favorite song right now, Turner?
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig? That's an okay song. All right, next question. What toy or furniture item has been the toughest to assemble?
I finished a 1,000-piece Lego set of Batman jet. Oh, actually, the hardest thing I had to do was a 598 piece Up house. It broke 4 times.
You built the Up house from the movie Up. You built the house that Mr. Fredrickson lives in. That was how many pieces?
598.
Okay, 598. And you built a Batman plane.
No, a Batman jet.
A Batman jet, not a plane. And then Dad built the Lego Concorde, and you guys helped me with that.
And we built the Lego Land Rover.
We're building the Lego Land Rover right now. We got a little bit more to go, though, don't we? What do we have to finish on it?
The axle and the 4 wheels.
The axle and the 4 wheels. That's exactly right.
I'm very impressed. I see what you guys build sometimes, and I'm just like, there's no way I couldn't build anything. So I'm very impressed at what you guys do with Daddy.
We love building things. It keeps them occupied, which is important at this stage. Is there a dad save you've executed that continues to make you proud? The best dad save.
I guess I have one more Skittle.
One more Skittle? The best dad save that comes to mind for me was at our driveway, we have a bit of a slope that goes down. Cooper was on his bike, and he wasn't quite proficient yet on his bike. And at the top of the hill, he got going and couldn't stop. And I stood there trying to catch him at the bottom of the driveway, and basically I just absorbed him like a guy on field goal protection, just getting run over. But I just knew I had to stop him somehow and catch him. The bike went flying, but we caught him, and he got out of it with only minor bumps and bruises. Do you remember that?
No.
Well, it's probably best you don't remember any of
I
that.
had a pretty similar dad save where at least you were at the bottom of the hill. I was at the top with Stella, riding down this pretty big hill. Wasn't great at stopping on her brakes yet, and I was kind of just walking alongside of her, and she got going, and I had to pull up my best 40-yard dash to meet her at the bottom, catch her before she fell off. But we were all good. With the girls, there was a lot more dad saves. With Trip, I mean, you have 2 sons. With Trip, I can't save him because he just moves too fast. He does something, and it's by the time I get there, it's already over. Where, it's a dislocated elbow or it's a straw stuck in the back of his throat. Like it's just these things happen, and it's over with.
I'm calling it here. Trip is going to be a all-state football player and wrestler.
Really?
That's my expectation, and maybe a skateboarder. All right. Is there a kid's snack that you sometimes sneak? I like all your snacks.
Every single one.
Gummies. The gummies are probably my favorite.
The dots are probably my favorite.
Dots?
You like dots?
That's funny. So
That's my favorite
we were
candy,
at the
dude.
gas station the other day, just filling up the tank. Dad was walking through the gas station and he said, "You guys ever had dots?" So I got some dots, and it was my dad's favorite candy.
Yo.
It's my favorite candy. And now it's Cooper's favorite
Well, I
candy.
did
It's
not
going to
know
run
that.
in the family.
There's not many people that I know who enjoy dots.
I know, it's kind of a deep cut.
And they do get stuck in your teeth, but
They definitely get stuck in your teeth.
But every time I go to the movie theater, I have to buy dots. I have to.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I'm going
love
to get
dots.
you some dots, man. All right, what item is critical when you leave the house on dad duty?
Right here. He's got it in his hand.
It helps to have things to entertain you in the car. So, workbooks.
A fire alarm. I got one. A flashing light.
Anything to keep you occupied. Music in the car.
You can find more episodes of Dad Mode on Vikings.com or the Vikings app. Gabe, I'm going to toss it to you. You got anything for us to get ready for the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I got a friend who has a lot for us, and his name is Pete Bursich. He's the Vikings analyst, and he is breaking down the film this week, heading into the Detroit Lions matchup on Sunday. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to another edition of Vikings Film Room, brought to you by the Vikings Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Pete Bursich. Well, the Minnesota Vikings are getting set to take on the NFC North Division champion Detroit Lions. It still just feels weird saying that. But this team's got some surprises in store, and they got some great players. So let's take a look at the film and find out what the Vikings are going to be up against this Sunday in Detroit. Now, when we take a look at the Detroit Lions, the first guy who stands out is this guy, Aiden Hutchinson. We knew he was good, but he's been extremely productive as of late. So what is he doing better? Well, one thing for sure is he's playing the run better. And I guess my point in bringing all this up, it's not just enough to be a great athlete and, to post all the great numbers. You have to be smart. And Aiden Hutchinson is a smart defender. How do we know that? Well, let's take a look at the film. You watch Aiden Hutchinson lined up here. He's kind of playing an outside linebacker role. You see him stand up in a 2-point stance. But he's able to see his keys. And these are the keys that he has to be aware of. As this guy's off the ball, these two offensive players will be the first to attack him. So he has to see them both. Watch how he reacts to them. And this is the difference in his play. Once the ball is snapped, these two guys are going to go outside, and it's going to change his footwork and change his angle of attack, and it'll result in a great play. But watch Aiden. As soon as those guys walk out, he works to cross face against the first, defeats that first block, stays outside the tackle, beats a third blocker, and is able to be part of a TFL. If it takes 3 offensive players to block 1 defensive player.
The full edition of Film Room is out now on Vikings.com as well as the Vikings app, so make sure you check that out. All roads lead to Motown, and the only thing that matters for the team in purple is finishing the regular season out strong.
And dare I say it, Gabe, we finished the show out strong.
Yeah, we did.
That does put a bow on this edition of Vikings Weekly. We will be back next week, so be sure to tune in. For now, we thank you for watching, and check out the Vikings and Lions on Fox at noon. We'll see y'all next week.